Thank you. I was reading the other day about our universe and what we know and don't know about it, about the billions and billions of stars and planets, and of the millions of galaxies like our Milky Way, separated by distances so vast it takes light, which travels 186,000 miles per second, about 2 million years to cross these almost incomprehensible distances. We've got astronomers sitting in front of telescopes looking at stars not as they are now, but as they were 500 million years ago, because that's how long it took their light to reach us, give or take a few years. And I've got a hunch why astronomers and scientists are so curious, as we all are, about other worlds and other galaxies. It's partly because of what we call greener pastures, the hope that seems to spring eternal in all human beings that the living and opportunities are better and greater somewhere else. I suppose it has been this uniquely human attribute or frailty that's at the root of all discovery. But it's a fact that most people let this business of thinking the next pasture may be greener keep them from properly developing their own pasture. While we're looking at what the other guy is doing and wishing we were in his pasture, others are wishing they were in ours, and it's a proven fact that there's more opportunity hidden in our daily work than we could develop in a lifetime if we'll only look for it long enough to find it. I don't know if you've ever thought much about this, but there's no such thing as a job that can't lead to greatness if we'll take the time and thought to become great at what we do, at what we now do, where we are now. Unless we take the time, thought, and study to become outstanding at what we're now doing, why in the world should we think we could become great at something else? But somehow it always looks easier to succeed in the other fellow's line of work. It looked so good to me one time that I climbed the fence out of my pasture, and by the time I'd scrambled back in again, my little excursion cost me $30,000. I'd gone into a business where I was short on experience, and as it usually happens in such a case, I got burned on the wallet. If I'd devoted the same time and work to my own line of work, I'd have been much better off. Now, I'm not saying you can't go into another line or into a different business, but I am saying don't go into something unless you know everything it's possible to know about it, or most everything, and more important still, look long and carefully at the pasture you're now in. Chances are it's loaded with opportunities that someone else is going to come along and profit by if you don't. You see, if you merely compete with everybody else in your line of work, you've got to be satisfied with the same returns, the same rewards they're getting, and everyone else in the same field. But if you create, the sky's the limit, and people will then have to follow along in your tracks. So, the idea seems to be to take the experience you already have in what you're now doing, and you can build a stairway to just about anything you and your family could possibly want, and in a surprisingly short time. The law of economics tells us that our rewards in life will always be in exact proportion to our contributions. How can you increase your contribution to man in what you're now doing? Your rewards will take care of themselves.